Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be showing you how I was able to turn recycled plastic into these cute little fairy figurines. After making my pins and my earrings, I wanted to try something a little more three-dimensional. So I decided to make figurines, and I'll be showing how I was able to make my dreams into reality and create this cute little girl, completely out of recycled plastic. So let's get to it. So first, as always, I melt the recycled plastic, and for the fairies I had to create a custom mold out of silicone putty, which I created by making an impression of a clay figurine I had made and then cutting the mold in half so that each side has its own separate mold. And what I do is I fill each side with plastic, and then when one side is completely cooled down and hardened, I stick it onto the other side, which is still liquidy and gooey. So basically they fuse together and create one solid piece. And something I started doing was adding a little wire in between so that I could add little leaf beads, because it makes it look like they're wearing little flower hats, and I like having a little leaf there. So I fuse it together with a wire in the middle, and then when it's completely cooled down, I know it's hardened and I can take it out of the mold. You can see it's kind of a bit of a struggle taking them out of the molds because they're a lot more detailed and complex compared to my pins and earrings, which are just kind of 2D shapes. These are 3D, so I take it out pretty carefully because I don't want the mold to break, since I have to use it, over and over again in order to make new fairies. But she finally popped out, and that's what she looks like before primer and paint. So I wasn't able to capture the full painting process, but I got part of it. So I just paint. Usually I do the face and the dress first, and then I move on to the hair and the hat. It's really fun creating these. Also, sorry if I kind of have a lisp. I recently got Invisalign because my teeth are crooked and my bite is bad, and I'm still getting used to it. But anyways, the fairies, I paint them, and then I usually like to put little sparkles in their hair and on their wings. Making their faces and the sparkles and all the details are so much easier now that I have paint pens. I just can't stress enough how much of a godsend paint pens are. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have them. So usually the way that I do the face is I do the base color of the skin tone, and then I actually use eyeshadow to do the shading of the cheeks and I guess the indentation where the nose is. I also like to use a sparkly palette in order to make the wings and the sparkly and iridescent. So when you look at it in the sunlight, you can see that it's kind of shimmery, which is something that I think it kind of emulates pixie dust in a way, if you remember from the Tinkerbell movies. So after I fully painted the fairy, I make the wings out of clear plastic that I got from takeout containers. You can see I tried to do that TikTok thing where you tap it and it goes to the next clip, but I failed. The timing is off. But anyways, I use the little wings and I make them shiny using, like I said, shiny eyeshadow. And then I attach them to the fairy using clear nail polish. And then when it's fully done, I use resin to glaze the fairy. The first time I did it, I left the hat and the bottom parts unpainted because I noticed that my hands would make the paint rub off. So what I started doing was I left those two unpainted, and then after I glazed everything that was painted, then I went back and then painted the top of the hat and the bottom part, and then glazed it again so that my finger wouldn't keep rubbing off the paint. But now that I put a wire in it, that's solved my problem, so I only need to go through one pass of painting and then one pass of resin now. So here are the finished fairies. I'm just gonna be showing them like in greater detail in the sunlight, but you can see the wings, the hat, the details on the hair with the little sparkles, and then on the bottom of the fairies I put the resin identification code, which for the fairies would be number 4. Number 4 plastic is low density polyethylene, and the wings are made out of number 5 plastic, which is polypropylene. And I found that number 4 plastic is usually better at creating more 3-dimensional objects, while number 5 plastic is better at creating more 2-dimensional objects, which, you know, I've just kind of experimented around melting and stuff. But anyways, these are my finished fairies. If you want to buy one for yourself, you can actually order them on my Etsy. And if you don't find a color combination that speaks to you, you can request a custom order for what color preference you'd like at no extra cost. That's $18 if you'd like one. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know it's kind of been a while, been doing APs, but that's over now, and now I just get to focus on my art. Which is what I tell myself. I actually have to focus on college applications too, but we don't talk about that. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I will see you sometime. Bye!